Hi guys, my name is Nonima Digela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about the Senzo Meyiwa case. One of the things that I believe are happening here in the Senzo Meyiwa case is quite disturbing, guys, because I think we've been seeing that Mr. Baloyi does as he pleases in that courtroom. So it's one of those days, even again, the 4th of November, 2025, another day, another shock in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial. Okay. And this time it's the states under the fire because somehow they are trying to make us make allegations against them, I would say. They're trying to make us have or point out some certain issues. There are allegations that are surfacing that the prosecution might have misled the court record somehow, presenting information that could confuse the judge and possibly twist the narrative against the accused. Okay, perhaps against accused number one. That's what I would say for now. Because tell me why that everything that we are doing, we are listening to, sounds so vague. If not, it sounds like if there is a question that arises from it, now Baloyi will do jump here, jump there, jump. He won't give full answers, or I don't know if you get me or you catch me, ne? And also, if what Baloyi is doing, someone can investigate and find out that it is true that there is misleading that is happening in that courtroom, there is falsifying that is happening in that courtroom. If that is true, then it means it's a massive breach, not just of ethics alone, but of the constitutional itself. I don't think he realizes that, or he takes us for fools, ne? Section 35 guarantees every accused person a fair trial. And when the state starts manipulating facts or hiding the truth, that entire right collapses. So that's where I am mentally, because I'm feeling like, oh, Mr. Baloyi, there are some dodgy things that are seemingly happening, but they need to be investigated first to be made facts. Do you understand? But the way things are, son, something is very wrong. And also, Prosecutor Baloyi is the one that is on the podium, right? And he is busy with all of these things. And as much as he is the one that is asking questions and doing whatsoever, but there's a lot of things that are going very wrong, that are not supposed to be happening, that are happening. So in South African law, any attempt by the state to mislead the record can lead to serious consequences, right? We know this. Evidence being struck out, a mistrial, or even a full collapse of the case can happen. And yes, criminal charges for officials who lied under oath can also be brought forward. So those are the things that could happen. But when it comes to Ms. Sibiya and the other accused in court, the defense could use this to argue that the prosecution acted in bad faith, demanding that certain evidence be thrown out, or even calling for the entire case to be dismissed as abuse of process. Something is going on behind the scenes. And also, if Judge Ratta accepts that the state tampered with or twisted the record, it will destroy the credibility of the prosecution and change everything in this already controversial trial, because the trial, it is controversial. There's nothing we can say or do about that. And also, so the one thing that one should ask is that if the state is caught lying, what happens next? Will Judge Ratta take action, or will this be another storm that passes quietly? Because there's a lot of things that have happened in that courtroom, and Judge Ratta did nothing about them. So do you think that the state has crossed a line, or is just a courtroom strategy gone too far? I don't know. What are your thoughts when it comes to this? Because shame, I feel like Judge Ratta is not doing that what needs to be done. Instead, he will speak on behalf of the state, become their witness. If not witnessing for them, he will become their everything. He will do things for the state. He will defend them, etc., etc. So everything, Jay, is going wrong. I want us to also check at how the defense is also, yeah, they are trying, guys. They are trying a lot, but they are not doing enough, in my view. They're not doing enough. And also, I feel like they need to be present 24/7 when it comes to this, because there are questions that Baloyi keeps saying now. That was not put to so and so. That was not put to so and so. That was not said to so and so. Yay, it's a lot. One thing for sure is that the case is becoming frustrating. The case on its own is becoming too damaged, even for the state. I don't know why I don't know what they are hoping for, but something is going on here behind the scenes. And I feel like the documents that were read today, the bank documents that were read today, if they are not in the original form, something could have gone wrong there. If they are going to tell us that, do you guys remember when Vodacom came and they said we did not give them in that Excel sheet, we gave them in a PDF. That's what happens to bank statement. They are always in a PDF. So why are we having them in an Excel sheet? Because when you put them in an Excel, it's no longer the bank statement that it was. You are able to manipulate them. Now the question is, who did that and why? Who did that and why? And why was it important for them to? Because you could have just made copies and give to the defense, and then you do a spreadsheet from the original documents, not make your own. I think that's where the problem is. I don't know about you guys. Do drop a comment in the comment section and let me know what are your thoughts, because I feel like Baloyi is really messing up a lot. And if it happens, okay, in a normal court, in a normal competent court, if these things, it happens that they are true, this case will be on a standstill and end right there on the spot. But because it's Judge Ratha, he defends the state, he's not willing to listen to the accused, he's not willing to listen to the defense. We are in a ride that is not favorable to the people that it needs to favor. And the trial is becoming unfair every day. It's been unfair. I remember accused number one was talking last week, Friday, and he said he feels like the trial is being unfair because now he's being asked the same question 15 times, and the judge was not interested. He even said, I don't say anything wrong. So if we're dealing with a judge that is like that, what else do we expect as people that are on watchers? Because as much as it's none of our business, but we are South Africans, we are interested in these things. These are current affairs that are happening in our country. And if one of us is treated like that, whether Mgulukudu or not, but still, it's still wrong and it needs to be addressed thoroughly. And also, we've been saying, we are not saying the guys are not stoned or did not do the things that they said they did before. But when it comes to the Senzo Meyiwa case, that's where we draw the line. We want the person who is a perpetrator for that to be the one that pays for what they did. What are your thoughts? Let's talk with comment section. I want to hear your views. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.